Yongjia's Song of Actualizing the Way by the Tang monk from Xuanjue, Xuanjue. Cutting off learning. Don't you see? The man at ease in the way who has cut off learning and is unconditioned does not remove deluded thoughts, does not seek for the truth, for he knows that the essence of nescience is none other than the Buddha nature, and that this illusory, vacuous body is none other than the Dharma body. When you are fully awakened to the Dharma body, there is not a single thing. Your original nature is the authentic Buddha. The floating clouds of the five aggregates fleetingly come and go. The foaming bubbles of the three poisons vacuously emerge and vanish. When reality is witnessed, there is neither person nor Dharma. In an instant you jettison the karma leading to the Avicii hell. If you would deceive sentient beings with nonsense, you will have your tongue yanked out for countless eons. Sudden awakening is the Chan of the Tathagatas. You fully embody the myriad practices subsumed in the six perfections. When you are dreaming, the six destinies exist as vivid as can be. After enlightenment, they are utterly empty. There is no chiliocosm to be found. Here there is neither punishment nor reward, neither loss nor gain. Within the nature of extinction, there is nothing whatsoever to seek for. Up to now, the dirty mirror has never been polished. Today it is clear, awaiting scrutiny. Who is free from thought? Who is free from birth? If there is really no birth, then there is no non-birth. Summon a marionette and ask, if you are trying to attain Buddhahood, when can you achieve it? Extinction. Let go of the four elements. Do not grasp them. In the state of quiescence, eat and drink as needed. To see that all conditioned things are impermanent, all are empty. This is precisely the Tathagata's great perfect enlightenment. The decisiveness of his pronouncement shows that he is a true monk. There are those who do not accept that and stubbornly object. The direct cutting of the roots of delusion is approved by the Buddhas, so picking through the leaves and searching for the branches is something I can't do. People are unaware of the mani gem that they possess. It is covered closely within the womb of the Tathagata. The marvelous function of the six faculties is empty and non-empty. The single round luminosity of the gem is with and without form. Purify the five eyes, obtain the five powers. Only when you witness it do you know how hard it is to fathom. Seeing shapes in a mirror is not difficult, but how are you going to get hold of the moon in the water? Always going alone, always walking alone. The adepts are his companions on the road to nirvana. Investigating the ancient, one's spirit is purified. Dignity comes naturally. Despite his emaciated appearance, the tough fellow pays no heed. Poor disciples of Shakyamuni. The poor disciples of Shakyamuni are said to be impoverished, but their poverty is of the body. Their way is not impoverished. The bodily impoverished always wear coarse rags. When it comes to the way, the mind conceals a priceless gem. The priceless gem is used without exhaustion, bringing benefit to beings according to their capacity. One is never unsparing. The three bodies and the four kinds of purified cognition are perfected in oneself. The 8 kinds of liberation and the 6 kinds of supranormal cognition are the seal of the mind ground. With a single determination, the superior disciple realizes all. The middling and inferior disciples learn much, but there is much that they don't believe. If you can only, within your mind, cast off your soiled clothing, who dares to show pride in one's vigorous effort? Let others criticize and condemn one. Holding out a torch, trying to burn the heavens, all they do is tire themselves out. I listen to their taunts as if I am drinking sweet nectar. It all melts away, and I suddenly enter into the inconceivable. I look on their harsh words as my blessings, for they serve as my spiritual guide. Without relying on the criticism that gives rise to enemies and friends, How can we express our unproduced compassionate tolerance? The doctrine is thoroughly realized. Its explanation is thoroughly delivered. Meditation and wisdom are perfectly illuminated, without getting stuck in emptiness. It is not only I who now realize this. Buddhas more numerous than the grains of sand in the Ganges have realized the same thing. Hearing the fearless preaching that is like the roar of a lion, the brains of all the beasts are shattered, and the elephants stampede as if in heat, losing their dignity. The celestials and snake spirits, Nagas, quietly listen, giving rise to joy. Walking is Chan. Sitting is Chan. I have sailed on the rivers and seas, trekked through the mountains and streams, seeking teachers, inquiring about the way, so as to practice Chan. Having come to attain the way of Cao Shi, the sixth patriarch, I realize that birth and death has nothing to do with me. Indeed, walking is Chan, sitting is Chan. Whether speaking or silent, moving or still, your essence is at peace, serene in the face of sharp swords. Even if you are poisoned, you will be at ease. Our teacher, Shakyamuni, was able to meet Dipamkara Buddha many eons after he had been the monk Kshanti Vadin. How many times being born, how many times dying. Birth and death go on and on without end. Since my sudden awakening to the non-arising of phenomena, how could I suffer over humiliation or exult in glory? I entered the deep mountains, staying in a secluded place, on the high mountain peaks, in the deep valleys, under the tall pines. An unconstrained, peacefully sitting rustic monk, in quiet retreat, silently abiding, truly unbridled. Once you're enlightened, that's it. Once you are enlightened, that's it. You don't need to keep striving. All conditioned phenomena are not the same. Alms given with attachment earn heavenly rewards, just like an arrow shot into the sky, which exhausts its momentum and falls back to earth. The rebirth you invite will not be as you like it. How could it compare with the unconditioned reality? In a single leap, you directly enter the stage of Tathagata. Just grasp the roots. Don't worry about the branches. It is like a pure beryl gem containing the moon. Having understood this wish-fulfilling gem, using it for the benefit of yourself and others, it will never be exhausted. The moon reflects in the river. A breeze wafts through the pines. What's to be done during the long, still night? For the Buddha nature is the gem of the precepts, the seal of the mind ground. The mist, dew, clouds, and haze are garments on our bodies. The dragon subduing bowl, the tiger separating staff, the two-pronged truths, the golden rings of the six perfections, each ringing clearly. This is not the mere display of deportment or holding to vacuous matters. They are intimate traces of the jeweled staff of the Tathagata. Not seeking the truth, not rejecting the false. He does not seek the truth or reject the false. He fully understands these two to be empty, without marks. Marklessness is neither empty nor non-empty. This is the real mark of the Tathagata. The mind mirror is clear, reflecting without obscuration, boundlessly and brilliantly permeating countless worlds. Myriad forms in full array are displayed within. A single perfect illumination, which is neither inside nor outside. Unbridled emptiness rejects cause and effect. Such looseness will invite disaster, and the sickness of rejecting existence and clinging to emptiness is just as bad. It's like jumping into a fire to avoid drowning. If you abandon delusion and cling to reality, the attitude of selecting and rejecting leads to deception. If the trainee engages in practice without realizing this, he will be like a man mistaking a thief for his own son. The spoiling of your dharma assets, the squandering of your merit, occurs only through your consciousness. Therefore, in the Chan school, we completely abandon thought and instantly actualize the power of the insight into the non-production of phenomena. The great person. The great person wields the wisdom sword, the prajna sphere, the vajra flame. Not only does he smash the minds of the non-Buddhists, he has already crushed the impudence of Mara Deva. Rousing the Dharma thunder, beating the Dharma drum, he spreads clouds of compassion and sprinkles down sweet nectar. Dragons and elephants run loose, spreading blessings in all quarters, awakening all those of the 3 vehicles and the 5 natures. A rich grass grows without admixture in the Himalayas. The cows that feed on it produce pure ghee, which I always enjoy. One nature pervades all natures. One dharma embraces all dharmas. One moon is reflected in all waters. The moons in all the waters are contained in one moon. All dharma bodies of the Buddhas comprise my own nature. My nature is one with that of the Tathagatas. One stage includes all stages. There is neither form, nor mind, nor activity. With a snap of the fingers, you perfectly accomplish the 84,000 teachings. In an instant you erase 3 incalculably long eons. All categories are non-categories. How can they be compared to my numinous enlightenment? It can't be disparaged, nor can it be praised. It can't be disparaged, nor can it be praised. Its essence is like space, lacking any limit, not separated from the here and now, always as if filled to the brim. If you seek it, know that you won't find it. You won't get it by grasping, nor by letting go. It is only in its unattainability that you will get it. It is spoken in silence, and is silent when spoken. When you open the gate of great clarity, there is nothing that will close it down. Should someone ask what teaching I elucidate, I tell them it's the power of great prajna. Whether I'm right or wrong, nobody knows. Whether I'm defying the norm or not, even the gods cannot fathom it. I've already passed through many eons of practice. This is not just a careless deception. Banner of the Dharma. Hoist the banner of the Dharma. Set forth the tenets of our school. This was clearly the Buddha's transmission all the way up to Cao Shi, Huineng. Kashyapa was the first to transmit the lamp, which was passed down through 28 generations in India. The Dharma flowed to the east and entered this land, where Bodhidharma became the first patriarch. The transmission of the robe through 6 generations is well known, and countless others attained the way afterward. Truth is unposited. The false is originally empty. With being and non-being both rejected, the non-empty is emptied. The 20 kinds of emptiness are originally unattached. The single nature Tathagata is the same as all things in essence. The mind is a faculty. Concepts are its objects. Both are like blemishes on a mirror. Only when the blemishes are wiped away can the mirror reflect. When mind and objects are both forgotten, one's nature is true. Alas, in this evil age of the degeneration of the Dharma, the virtue of people is shallow, and they are difficult to restrain. The sage has long since departed, and wrong views run thick. With Mara strong and the Dharma weak, fear and malice are rampant. When they hear the Tathagata's teaching of sudden enlightenment, regrettably they abandon it like discarded tiles. Creation happens in the mind, and troubles come to the body, so there is no use in accusing or blaming others. If you wish to avoid inviting unremitting karma, you should never disparage the Tathagata's true Dharma wheel. The Sandalwood Forest. The sandalwood forest has no underbrush. Only the lion lives deep in the jungle. In the quiet forest he roams as he pleases. The birds and the beasts all run away. The lion cubs, at first following behind, can roar loudly by the time they are 3 years of age. If jackals try to imitate the king of the Dharma, after 100 years these demons open their mouths and nothing comes out. The perfect and sudden teaching is beyond human reasoning. Unresolved doubt must be confronted head-on. If not, the rustic monk assumes the notion of a self, and his practice may fall into the pit of annihilationism or eternalism. Wrong and not wrong, right and not right. A hair's breadth of difference at the beginning results in an error of 1,000 li later on. When it is right, a Naga maiden suddenly attains Buddhahood. When it is wrong, Sunakshatra falls into hell while still alive. In my youth I accumulated much learning, investigating the commentaries, poring over the scriptures and treatises. I never rested in the work of discriminating names and appearances, which turned out to be as useless as diving into the ocean to count its grains of sand. On the other hand, receiving the Tathagata's strict admonishment, being questioned on what is to be gained in counting another's treasures, I now see my previous struggles as wasted activity. For many years I have been a foolish, aimless traveler, observing as one wishes. My basic nature wrong, my understanding was skewed. I could not grasp the Tathagata's sudden and perfect system. The adherents of the two vehicles fully apply themselves, but don't grasp the mind of the way. Clearly, the intelligence of the non-Buddhists is not wisdom. Rather, it is folly, indeed stupidity. The empty fist and the finger pointing upward produce true understanding. But if you attach to the finger as the moon, you waste your efforts. Within the senses and the physical and mental objects, you vainly fabricate absurdities. Not seeing a single dharma, you are a Tathagata, and then you can be called Avalokiteshvara, observing as one wishes. If you comprehend, then karmic hindrances are originally empty. If you don't get it, you'll have to pay your karmic debts. Hungry and encountering a royal feast, you are unable to partake in it. Ill, you meet an excellent doctor, but you cannot be healed. Even while remaining in desire, cultivate the Chan power of insight. The lotuses that grow in fire are after all indestructible. Burdened by his heavy crimes, heroic giving awakened to non-arising. He attained Buddhahood long ago and remains such till this day, fearlessly expounding the Dharma like the roar of a lion. Deeply pitiable are the dull and stubborn. They merely understand that grave offenses obstruct Bodhi. They do not see the profound secret uncovered by the Tathagata. There were two monks. One committed lustful acts and the other took a life. Upali's firefly-like wisdom increased the tethering to their crimes. Mahasattva Vimalakirti instantly removed their doubts, the way the hot sun melts frost and snow. The power of liberation. Inconceivable, the power of liberation. It has marvelous and limitless functions, as numerous as the grains of sand in the Ganges. Offering the four necessities, how dare one complain about the trouble? You shouldn't hesitate to offer 10,000 pieces of gold. Suffering equivalent to grinding one's bones into powder and smashing the body will not suffice for recompense. By understanding one phrase, you leap over billions of passages. The king who is the most excellent in the Dharma, and Tathagatas as numerous as the sands of the Ganges, share in the same enlightenment. I now release this wish-fulfilling gem. Those who have faith in it all respond. Completely understanding, you see that there is not a single thing, indeed, no person, indeed, no Buddhas. The numberless worlds in the Chiliocosm are like bubbles in the ocean. All the sages and worthies exist like flashes of lightning. Even an iron wheel spinning on top of your head cannot distract your perfectly clear concentration and wisdom. The sun may turn cold and the moon may turn hot. The legions of Mara cannot destroy the true teaching. When the elephant-drawn carriage slowly heads down the road, who can see the mantis trying to block its path? Large elephants don't travel on rabbit paths. Great enlightenment is not grasped in trifles. Don't complain about the vast blue sky while looking at it through a narrow tube. If you still don't get it, let me clarify it for you. Appendix: The Activities of the Great Master of No Marks. Composed by Yongjia, Hanlin academician, Grand Master for closing the court, serving for the left, remonstrator, drafter of proclamations, at the same time working as state historian, vice historian, assistant archivist, pillar of the state of Nanyang County, an enfeoffed noble, and provider for a town of 1,100 households invested with the purple robe and goldfish-shaped pouch insignia. Chan Master Yongjia Xuanjue of Wenzhou was a native of Yongjia, originally with the surname Dai. He entered the Sangha as a youth, studying the Tripitaka widely and deeply, becoming particularly well-versed in the meditative teachings of Tiantai and the teachings of the Lotus Sutra. Whether walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, he was always absorbed in meditative contemplation. Later, based on the encouragement of meditation master Zuo Shilang, he went along with meditation master Xuanjue of Dongyang to call on the sixth patriarch in Zhaoshi. When he first arrived, he took his staff and held a vase, after which he circumambulated the patriarch 3 times. The patriarch said, "A Shramana fully observes the 3,000 regulations and the 80,000 detailed practices. Where do you come from, my good monk, that you demonstrate such arrogance?" The master said, "Birth and death are a great matter, and impermanence is swift." The patriarch said, "Why don't you attain birthlessness and realize that which is not swift?" The master said, "Attainment is none other than birthlessness, and realization originally has no speed." The patriarch said, "So it is. So it is." At that time, in the large audience, there were none who were not astounded. The master then paid obeisance to the patriarch with full decorum, and soon after announced his departure. The patriarch said, "Are you leaving so quickly?" The master said, "I have originally not moved. How could I be quick?" The patriarch said, "Who is it that is aware of non-movement?" He replied, "It is you, sir, who makes this discrimination." The patriarch said, "Indeed, you have grasped the meaning of non-arising." The master replied, "How can non-arising have a meaning?" The patriarch said, "If there is no meaning, who should discriminate it?" He replied, "Even if you discriminate it, it is still meaningless." Pleased, the patriarch said, "Excellent, excellent. Can't you stay for just 1 night?" Therefore, in those days people referred to the master as enlightened in 1 night. The next day, Mr. Tse and Master Enlightened in 1 night left the monastery and returned to Wenjiang, where many trainee monks gathered around him. He was posthumously titled Great Master of True Enlightenment. He revealed the Chan school's perfect teaching of enlightenment and cultivation, from the shallow to the deep. Wei Jing, prefect of Qingzhou, bound his works into 10 sections, calling them the Anthology of Yongjia and the Song of Actualizing the Way under a separate heading. Both became popular works.